Mic check. Okay, we're good. All right. Okay. Alrighty. Make sure we're set up here. Make sure we're good. Make sure we're good. Everything's good. Should be good. Okay. All right, what is up? Pre-game, South Carolina, Tennessee. What's up? What's going on? Dusty Rhodes, what's up, man? What is up? What is up? We'll go live till 8:30, about an hour from tip right now. Gamecocks in Knoxville taking on the Tennessee Volunteers, guys. Taking your questions, comments, everything before the Gamecocks take on Tennessee. Phil, what is up? And I'll tell you guys this. I think I'm probably more excited for the news that I just got that has nothing to do with the basketball game. Yours truly, I will be at all 3 baseball games this weekend. Lockdown tickets earlier today for Saturday and Sunday. And just as recently as about 30 minutes ago, lockdown tickets for Friday. We'll also be at the Tuesday midweek game. So we're starting off the season hot. I will be at the first 4 games for sure. Clemson weekend, still trying to work some things out. Not 100% sure what the deal is going to be there. But, yeah, if you're going to be at Founders Park, I'll see you there. So planning on being all 3 games this weekend. Very excited. Very, very excited to take it all in this weekend, man. I'm fired up. I'm very fired up. It's crazy. Couldn't get season tickets this year, but you guys knew they weren't going to keep TSUS out, man. Come on. They weren't going to keep us out. So Leonard Matthews, what's going on, Phil? Dusty Rhodes, Dakota Lee Center Fight, what's up? He says, Dakota says Tennessee wins 99-61. Yeah, I've got Tennessee 87-62. I think it's a blowout, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Yeah, so again, guys, taking your questions, comments, everything else. Sorry, I got a dog invasion. So, Dusty says, got the boys together on the song. Don't know if we want to sample Sandstorm 2001, but it's going to be dope. Yeah, just send it to me, man. Let me know. So, Travis Royal, what's up, man? What's going on? What is going on? Again, guys, taking your questions, comments, everything else. So, Leonard Matthews, bring on baseball. Yeah, like I said, I'm really excited. Got tickets to all 3 games. Going with a buddy of mine Friday. We'll probably have some other people Saturday, Sunday, whatever. It's going to be a good time, though. Going to be a really good time. So, if you're going to be out there, let me know. Let me know. So, how are you guys feeling about the Tennessee game? How are you guys feeling about this game? Again, I got Tennessee 87-62. I think it's a blowout. Let's go ahead and jump out to the phone lines, guys. We'll get this thing rolling here. Yo, Phil, what's up, man?
Dude, I said your name instead of my name on the freaking Google thing.
I heard really that.
Odd of me to do that.
I did hear that.
That was strange. I don't know why I did that.
Yeah, I heard that.
It must just be, that I'm worried about the game. I guess that's what's on my mind. I don't know if you saw that little clip that GoGamecocks.com put up of Frank responding to one of the reporters that was asking about, what his thoughts were on the fans being frustrated with how the years turned out.
Mm-hmm.
And his response was so tone deaf.
Yeah.
And of course he's got to throw in the COVID stuff about, not being able to practice. Dude, that was 2 months ago. Like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
It's just frustrating, man.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't post it or anything, and I know people probably wouldn't want to hear it, but I would say this, man, it feels very, like the clip I saw at least, it feels very Muschamp at the end of his tenure. You know what I mean? Like where he's like trying to defend everything they've done and like, we've done this, we've done that. Look at what we've done in these years and that years. It felt very like, oh my God, this is Will Muschamp all over again. At the end of his tenure when he was saying, we had this offense the first 3 years. We won this many games. It's like, bro, who cares? We're in year 5. We don't care. So like it's, it just gets harder and harder live off that Final Four. You know what I mean? We're getting farther away from it year after year. So, and again, I'm obviously not sitting here saying fire Frank Martin. Like, I don't think that's the solution in a crazy pandemic driven season like this. And I'm really not trying to use it as an excuse, but I'll tell fans this, like, it's a lot different when your coach has had it twice. You know what I mean? Like, if he hadn't gotten it, it'd be a lot different, but he's literally had it twice. So it's hard for me to, to come after his neck. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, listen, that's one thing I will say. And again, I like Frank Martin a lot, and fans like get their panties in a bunch when they hear me say stuff like this. But it's like, dude, Frank's an asshole. I mean, he always has been. I feel like he's always been that way to the media too. Like, Frank's the kind of guy, he comes off to me like, if you question him about basketball decisions, he acts like you're like the stupidest person ever. And it's like, no, Frank, we're just asking questions. Like, I don't know if I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way, but like, he acts like a complete dick. I mean, I hate to say that, but like, he does. He just does. But that's just him. But like, that's have you not ever noticed that? Like, he acts like such a douche. Like, I don't know what else to say. Well, like, here's the thing.
That's all cute and everything
when you're winning.
When he's winning, when it's underperforming, it really looks really bad. And like I said, that whole, I took away from that clip, he's just being very tone deaf right now. And maybe because we're probably like the only two people that give a crap about Gamecock basketball, it seems like, that he has no pressure. It doesn't really matter. It's almost like he has a lifelong contract. So it doesn't matter if he makes the tournament because we're the only two people that care, it seems like. So there's no expectations for this basketball team. So they can just go out and, he can have COVID a million times and it doesn't matter. We're just going to not make the tournament again for the next 20 years. Right. And he'll just be the coach until he dies or whatever. It's so tiring and so frustrating. Dude, this is year 9. He made the tournament one time. Now, given it was a magical run, we all love it. I've got fond memories of being at Madison Square Garden when they beat Florida. And that was great. But that was 5 years ago, bro. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I mean, again, I don't know. It almost feels like it's a waste of breath to get that frustrated this season because I know nothing. We know nothing's going to happen, and again, I don't know. Just having the attitude from almost the jump that the season was a wash, I think was probably a poison to hit this team and this program. Because that surely seems like, I don't know. I don't want to say like, oh, we're playing that way. Like I feel like our players have been a damn near as resilient and as tough and as mentally tough as they could possibly be. But I don't know, man. The energy around the program sure feels like, oh, well, it's just a wash anyways. Like, what does it matter? So, which it sucks. That sucks. And it's like you said yesterday, man. It's just like, when are we going to get to the point where we're not halfway or 3/4 of the way through a season and we're counting down to the next sport? Like, that's got to stop. It's got to stop.
It's so tiring. Yeah. It's so tiring. And as a fan base, we deserve better. Yeah. Because guess what? Like, a lot of teams, there's like 120 teams that are in Division I football and whatever. Like, most people don't care. Yeah. Like, their team, they win a couple games. They're just like, oh, okay, I'll watch this for 5 minutes and they'll turn the TV off. I'm like, oh, that was interesting. Yeah. But, as Carolina Gamecocks fans, we've got a lot of passion, man. We love our team. We love Carolina. So we deserve to have winning teams. Yeah. And the minimum expectation, I'm going to say it until I'm, red in the face or my head explodes. The minimum expectation for all major sports is a postseason every year. Minimum expectation. So if you can't get on board with that, you got to go. And if you want to make cute, comments and be completely tone deaf, he's acting like he knows. He makes jokes with the media and says, there's nobody at my press conferences. They're all looking at, spring football. Yeah. He knows that he can say those things and it doesn't matter. There's no consequences for him, coaching a team that underperforms. That's got to change, man. Yeah. It's got to change.
Yeah. I agree. No, do you? I mean, hit the nail on the head, man, for sure. I mean, I don't think any Gamecock fan should be berated for it or, listen, apathy set in and like I said before, man, like I think the Gamecock fan base is the best in the world, but when it comes to baseball and basketball, you got to put a product out there, man. People aren't just going to watch to watch. They're just, you know what I mean? They're just, especially we live in a world 2021, whenever, where there's hella technology and you can do a bunch of things and watch a bunch of things. And we got Netflix, we got Hulu, we got Amazon Prime. You can go travel. You can do whatever you want. So like, if the product's not good, people aren't just, and I'm talking about like the normal alumni that has like a job, a family, has this going on, that going on. Like, I think you and I, Phil, we're going to watch either way because we're crazy diehards. But the normal, like the just normal person working 9 to 5 fan that's even an alum, one of my buddies here in Columbia, it was, I forget which game it was, like a Tuesday game though. And he texted me, he's like, South Carolina went down like 10 points in the first half. He's like, yeah, I'm going to go play Call of Duty now. Just I'll follow your Twitter, but I'm not watching the game. Like, he's like, he'd rather do something else. I'm like, I can't blame him. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Yeah. So, yeah, something's got to change, man, because you're at the point now where, like, it's just – I'm not saying that changing coaches – and again, maybe Frank turns it around next year. We're not even having – it's a whole different conversation. But it's kind of like you said, man, if you miss the tournament next year – just for the sake of the program in the sense of like interest. Listen, I don't know if Beamer is going to work. I think there's reasons to think he will, and I'm optimistic. And obviously, I'm all aboard the Shane train. There's no guarantee it'll work though, but at least now there's excitement in the program. And basketball is just sorely lacking any kind of excitement in the program. So,
that's right.
I don't know. So,
yeah.
We'll see.
I'll just end on this. If we, great, this year's a wash, blah, blah, blah. We all know this. We keep saying it over and over again. It doesn't matter.
Right.
So next year, when we've got a promising team, if AJ doesn't leave, if we, we have this promising team, hopefully, that can maybe make a run in the tournament that we're hoping, and, we start out the season and it's looking okay, and then bam, we get beat by, Boston College School of the Blind. I want people to stop going to games, man. Like, make the administration understand that we are tired of this stuff. I know not enough people care. Everybody wants to, basketball to be a club sport, or they think it's a club sport. As that was some crazy fan that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, listen, man, basketball is a big deal.
Yeah.
We've got the CLA. It's a really beautiful arena.
18,000 person arena.
There you go. I mean, and guess what? On the outside, they've spent a lot of money to show the history and the tradition of Carolina basketball, not just the women's team, but the men's team too. So guess what? It is a great place to, to play, to be a student at. Listen, Carolina has everything. We throw money at this school. We just shovel it and throw it into a fireplace, hoping that something's going to happen here. Yeah. And guess what? It needs to happen. And if next year Frank doesn't win some games and get into the tournament, I'll help him pack his bags. I know you will too. Yeah. I love the man, but enough is enough, man.
Yeah. It'll be time for both sides to just mutually kind of break off and go a different direction. You know what I mean? Like, 10 years is a plenty enough sample size. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you.
I'll be watching the game tonight. Yeah. Of course I will. Because I am married to this guy. No, I'm not even married. I am blood bond to Carolina for the rest of my life. So I'll be watching the game. But by God, I want to see some fight, and I want to see them win this game. I want to see them win all the games. That's the thing. I'm just frustrated right now. You know how it is. Yeah. So go Cox. Let's win this game. Let's win the rest of the games of the rest of the season. Hell, let's win the SEC tournament for the first time in since 1997.
Yeah,
that'd be great. Then we'll go to the tournament.
Yeah,
that'll shut me up.
Yeah, and me as well, and all of us. Phil, great stuff, man. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Thanks, man. Yeah, great stuff. A lot of passion from Phil, man. Appreciate it. Really good stuff. How about this? Just got on my phone. Tim Tebow has retired from baseball. Smart move because he wasn't a really good player anyway. No, I'm just kidding. Tebow retiring from baseball. So, reached AAA in 2019. Played 77 games. Was actually played at played with Columbia for a little bit. So all the female baseball fans are disappointed, I'm sure. So let's go back to the phone lines real quick.
Justin.
Hey, Justin, what's up, man?
No, Buzz. How you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Just counting down the seconds till tip off.
Yeah, me too, Chris. Hey, Chris, man, we're not looking good right now because we down for some buys,
Yeah, I mean, listen, I picked us to lose by 25, so that'll kind of give you an idea of how I feel about this game tonight. So.
Yeah, me too, Chris. Hey, Chris, the thing about this is you don't have Justin or Crusoe along the play. Those are your big key players right there.
Yeah, no Kusnard, no Manaya, no Frank. I I don't know, man. Like I said, I really thought it was going to be really tough with those guys. Even if you had them, but without them, I just think it's damn near an impossible task. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens. I mean, on the bright side, on the positive, you give a guy like a Trey Hannibal an opportunity, and maybe Trey makes the most. I know there were fans clamoring for Trey Hannibal to get in the lineup, before this, even with a healthy Kuznard. But man, almost just from a sheer numbers standpoint, you know what I mean? I mean, Tennessee's a good ball club, and man, it's gonna be. What do you have on the roster? Like maybe 7 guys available. I mean, it's just gonna be hard to win a game with that few in numbers. And you're gonna see a lot of TJ Moss. You're gonna see a lot of Trey Anderson. You're gonna see a lot of Trey Hannibal. Obviously, Seventh Woods needs to play well. AJ Lawson's probably got to score with 30 to keep you in the ball game. Keyshawn Bryant's gonna have to go off. I mean, a guy like the guys down low, Levesque and McCreary, they're gonna have phenomenal games. So I don't know, man. I think it's asking way too much of this team to, you're an 11 and a half point underdog for a reason. So like I said, though, maybe Trey Hannibal, maybe he goes off and shows up and shows out, and he had a good game Saturday, and you never know, but I don't know, man. I do not have, I wish I was a little bit more positive and optimistic going in this one, but I just don't see it. I just really don't see it, man. I think it's going to be another really frustrating night. So
yeah, I don't see it neither, Chris. And Chris, the thing about Frank Martin, everybody was asking me yesterday, are you planning to retire? You said no. I mean, I'm going to kick coaches till I fight,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. No, I mean, I never really took that serious as that he was thinking about retiring. I mean, I don't know. I think fans, I mean, he obviously looks like shit. We all know that. I mean, the alopecia thing, his hair's gone.
Yeah.
He shaved his eyebrows. He looks absurd. But no, I never really put a whole lot of stock in the quote unquote rumors. Those were all fan driven rumors on social media or whatever. So, listen, I would not want Frank to walk away because of health. That's not how I want to see his career end at South Carolina. But, I expect him to be back next year. And I think there needs to be it needs to be established by Castlin, Tanner, everybody involved before the season that, hey, we've got to set the standard. We got to set the expectation. And, because here's the thing. I hear everybody justify why Frank Martin's so great and why he's the right choice for Carolina based on, what we've done in the past. But here's my question. What tells you that the trajectory of the program is going in a positive direction? Nobody can tell me reasons why the future is going to be better. Everybody can just cite back to 2017 and we got shafted in 16. We got shafted in 18, whatever. Nobody can tell me though, these reasons are why the program is on a upward trajectory. Because that's all that really matters. You know what I mean? What happened in the past in 2017, that's all great and everything, but which way is the program trending? You know what I mean? So, I think if you miss the postseason and miss the tournament next year, there's nothing, you can't sit there and say and justify the program's going in the right direction. Can you? I mean, because if the expectation is to make the tournament and you only made it 1 out of 10 years, I don't know. I just think at that point it'll be time to part ways and both sides kind of go their separate ways. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're a ways off from that. We're obviously a ways off from that, but certainly I think that conversation will happen. I think it needs, because listen, Bob Castle don't have ties to Frank Martin, just the same way he didn't have ties to Will Muschamp. So I think there will be a conversation before next season of, hey, Frank, obviously, we know you dealt with COVID. We know your players dealt with that season, whatever. This is what we got to see this year, though. And if we don't see it, we're gonna have to have a conversation into the season. So I hope the conversation at this time next year is, hey, we're projected to be a 5 seed in the tournament and all life is great in Columbia. And that's what I hope, but there's nothing that really indicates that's going to be the case, right? There's nothing really that we can point to and say, that's why it's going to turn around. I don't really know. I don't know how this team's going to be better next year when you're probably going to lose AJ Lawson. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Chris, and think about that. Who you gonna get? Are you gonna wait till the next guy will come your way this year or next year? And who's out there to play Frank Martin? That's the thing about it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I think that if I was South Carolina, I'd do a lot like we did with Shane Beamer in regards to the mid-major route. Going and finding a coach, maybe a lesser-known coach. Hey, it's worked at other SEC schools, though. Look at Nate Oates coming from Buffalo. Look what he's doing. I mean, I know fans are scarred and scared to death because of the Darren Horn experiment and the way that went down, but, I use the relationship example. Just because your girlfriend's hot, if she's toxic, you got to break up with her. You can't be scared that like there's nothing better out there. You got to roll the dice and just see. You know what I mean? Like, but you can't just stick around in a bad situation just because. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I hope the conversation is a lot different going into next year or going, at this point next year. But I don't know. There's nothing that tells me it will be, and that's the unfortunate part. But all we can do is wait, I guess. So.
Yeah, and Chris, like you say, look, get played with one more year, and if things don't work then hey, get with him. Well, you don't feel like a bubble up next year,
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't know, man. We'll see. Like I said, I hope Frank's here for the next 10 years, man. I say the same thing I said about Muschamp. I hope Frank is I hope Frank turns it around, and like I said, we're singing a much different tune come this time next year and the next couple of years. But he's either going to win enough to keep his job or he's not. So we'll see. But I think tonight, man, unfortunately, we're going to have to suffer through it. There's no other way to put it. I think the rest of this season, and especially tonight, we're going to have to suffer. I think we're going to get our butts kicked. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm the ultimate jinx again, and we win the game and whatever. But I just, no Kusnar, no Mania, no Frank, like you said. I don't see it. So.
Yeah, me neither, Chris. I think it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get better before it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I think that's probably kind of. Yeah, I think you're onto something there, my friend. So.
Yep. Hey, Chris, that's all I said, man.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, I appreciate the calls always. Yeah, I appreciate the calls always, man. Let's pull them through tonight somehow. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Take care, man.
Yeah, man. You too. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Good stuff. Justin always giving great insight for sure. So, all right. 843-790-3377, guys. We got about 6 minutes left. United 26. What's going on? Jason S. Kirby, every Gamecock fan excuses. Who we're going to get if we fire Frank? Yeah, it's a bad excuse. I mean, you're South Carolina. I just like what I wonder, man, when people say stuff like that, in the sense of, and they said it about Muschamp too, which is like so funny, really. But people say, like, oh, who could we get? It's like, do you really think that lowly of your school? Like, we couldn't just go out and get a good coach? I mean, really? Like, we have money. We have facilities. We live in a great state. You got the beach. You got the mountains. Great campus. You can get talent. Like, what? There's no reason why you couldn't go get an elite level coach. So I don't know. Like I said, I always equate it to the relationship side of things. It's like you're being in a toxic relationship and you just staying around because like, oh, who else can I get? Like, are you serious? Like, come on, like, give me a break. So I don't know, man. I don't get that mindset of that mentality at all. I don't get that. I cannot relate. So, let's see. Ritter, of course, Ritter's coming out with the comments. Frank needs to stop blaming COVID. I hate how Frank went after the fans. Your thoughts on Frank calling out the fans? Listen, COVID's a real thing. I get it. I know we all agree it's time to stop using COVID as an excuse. I don't know, man. I don't want to say anything that I regret, I guess, in regards to Frank Martin. I mean, listen, he's always been kind of an asshole in the pressers, and that's just who Frank is. I don't want Frank to change, but that's something I don't genuinely like about him, is that, or particularly like about him, is he always comes after, like when he's asked a question by the media, it's like a basketball question. He acts like they're so stupid. And it's just like, help us understand, man. Like, stop being so combative. Like, there's no need to like act like he does sometimes, but whatever, is what it is. It's all good. I mean, he called out the fans, and I think fans are just frustrated, bro. They just want to win, and they don't even want to win. It's like I said before, in that when you beat Florida, like what, 2 weeks ago? I think it was 2 weeks ago you beat Florida. And I said after that game, okay, we're done using COVID as an excuse. You can't say, oh, we beat Florida because of COVID. No, you beat Florida because you just went out there and beat them. So I said, if you go out there Saturday and lose to Mississippi State, it's not because of COVID, it's because you just got beat. So, and I said before too, is like, if you played well this second half of the season and you kind of battled and fought and you finished SEC play 500 or just even slightly below 500, but you were in games and you battled, you could say, okay, well, what this season could have been if there was no COVID, because look at this team at the beginning of the year. They obviously weren't together. They weren't clicking. They didn't practice, whatever. But like, bro, we're late in the season pretty much at this point, and Carolina's terrible. We're terrible. You can't use COVID as an excuse anymore. So, yeah, I don't know, man. Frank is Frank. It is what it is. So, Frank is Frank, though. All right, we got a text. Hey, Robbie Davis. We need to come out fired up, ready to play. I think if we do that, regardless of who's on the floor, we got a chance to win. I sure hope you're right, Robbie. I sure hope you are right. Greg Bedinger, sick of what? What are you sick of? From Frank or what? Donnie Cunningham, if it wasn't for PJ and Thornwell staying home, the Final Four run doesn't happen either. And I don't want to take the Final Four run away from Frank. I mean, I literally have the program. I literally have the Final Four paper framed in my studio. Like, it's a great memory. It's a great moment. But, like, again, we're getting farther away from those moments, each year. Chad Holbrook didn't keep his job for County Baseball because we won national titles in 10 and 11, right? He didn't keep his job. Ray Tanner wouldn't have kept his job either if he'd have been if he'd have been losing. He wouldn't have. Bottom line, like, it's a what have you done for me lately business, as is everything else. Again, I could just keep going back to different examples, like hypotheticals, whatever. It's what have you done for me lately? So, I don't know, though, man. Again, I like Frank Martin. I feel like I have to say this every time. I'm not a fire Frank Martin guy. I think firing him, after this craziness of a season, this COVID, this pandemic-driven year is wrong. I don't think it's the right move. I think that you show a lack of empathy if you fire him when your coach has had COVID twice. But going into next year, you got to make the tournament, and if you don't, you got to part ways, because if you don't let him go, if you miss the tournament next year and you don't let him go, basically you're saying we do not care about winning. We do not care about winning. There has to be some sort of minimum standard, some sort of minimum expectation. There has to be. There just has to be. And again, you guys know it irks me because there are people that want Mark Kingston fired right now. He's going into year 4. He went to the Super Regionals in his first year. He missed the postseason his second year. Terrible year. Last year gets cut short due to COVID. And there's people on social media I see commenting saying, Kingston's a bum. He's never going to win here. He's terrible. He should be let go. Bro, if you're going to have that energy, keep that energy across every sport, because Frank Martin is getting a pass in year 9. Like, it irks me, dude. It pisses me off. So keep the energy consistent. That's all I'm asking. So, again, I jumped on a little bit late, guys, so we'll go for like another minute and a half or so. I know it's 8:30, but we'll go for like another minute and a half, and then we'll go watch the game. So, Jason S. Kirby, the mediocrity mindset culture has to change in Columbia. Yeah, and listen, I don't know what the thought process, what the mindset is with Castle Tanner, the board of trustees, like, and I think demonizing the Carolina fan base is the wrong move. I think Carolina fans are just beaten, battered, and bruised, and they're scarred. And I think there's a lot of them that think we don't deserve to win. I really do. The people that say stuff like, oh my God, like, who would we ever get that's better? Like, and then talking about Martin's like, oh, who could we ever get that was better? Like, oh my gosh, like, y'all need to leave Frank. Like, you're the reason we're losing. Like, you're kind of one of the reasons. Like, you whatever you accept, that's what your culture becomes. That's whatever you put up with and tolerate, you are condoning said results. So again, back to the relationship example. If your spouse cheats on you and you take them back, whether you like it or not, this might hurt some of your feelings. I don't know. You're condoning the behavior, whether you want to admit that or not. So like, if we continue to lose and we just keep bringing him back and we extend him, and it's like we're saying it's okay. If you don't change anything, then you're saying it's okay. So, there's got to be a set standard. There's got to be a set standard. Again, that's why I said going into this offseason, going into next season, you got to sit down with, if you're Castle and Tanner, you got to sit down with Frank Martin and say, hey, appreciate everything you've done here. Tell us why this program is going in the right direction. And then we got to see results. And if we don't see them, I think we're going to have to part ways. Like for the bet, for our best interest, for your best interest, for everyone involved, we're going to have to part ways. So again, I know I've been rambling, but I got Tennessee winning this game 87-62 tonight. I don't know, guys. I hope I'm wrong. I don't think it's close. I think with the even with Couisnard, Minaya, I think it would have been I would have picked South Carolina to lose by double digits most likely, but without them, I think it's going to be ugly. The only way it's not probably is if a guy like AJ Lawson goes off for like 35 points, and I can't really trust AJ to do that. I mean, I hope he does. But I don't know. I don't think it's going to be a fun night for us. But hey, either way, whatever. I'll be watching. We'll have a little brief 10-minute post-game show, and then I'll jump on, do the podcast, all that good stuff. But yeah, stay tuned to social media. Obviously, I'll be covering the game, and all we can do is hope for the best. So anyway, guys, appreciate you all tuning in. Like I said, post-game show right here, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, immediately following the game, and we'll get after it there. Follow on social media, in-game updates. But appreciate you guys. Go Cox. Beat Tennessee. Let's find a way. We'll talk to you guys post-game.